You knew it was coming, didn't you? Custom exceptions. If you're like me, when we were taking the value error and we were putting our own custom message in there, it felt a little weird, didn't it? Sure, because the value error is a built-in Python thing. It's for specific types of errors. It would be really nice if we could create our own custom error messaging. Let's take a look at that in this lesson. And what's really neat is we're going to get a preview of working with object-oriented programming. Yeah, because we're going to be creating a class here, as you'll see in a moment. So why custom exceptions? Well, first of all, the built-ins don't do a great job of describing our problem. Think about it. We would like to name an error so well that oftentimes that's all we need to see is just the name of the error. Forget any kind of messaging that goes with it. So we want more descriptive types of error messages. And if we name it, again, like I said, really well, it will describe, just the name itself, exactly what went wrong. And we also want the callers to be able to catch our errors specifically for our specific applications that we are developing. And caller here just means whoever's running our program. And then, of course, we have the subclasses that we're going to create. I'll show you this in a moment, built from the exception class. So we're going to go to the exception class, the one that we've been working with that has all the errors below it, like division by zero and value error and all those ones that we've been working with. We're going to create our own right under there with what's called a subclass. Again, don't freak out about object-oriented programming in classes because we're going to be covering all of that with you later on. We're creating a subclass right here for this example. And yeah, we'll get into this much later on. Don't freak out. But notice how easy it is. We just go and create our own subclass from the exception class. So we say we want a network error created, a subclass created under the exception subclass. And notice we just say that's all we need to do here. So we use the pass statement because that's all we need to do to create this subclass. And then notice if we raise this network error and give a custom message when we actually run this code, what's going to happen? Well, we're going to get the error and we'll see at the bottom there, it's the network error connection failed. Now, of course, that looks ugly, right? Because we're seeing the traceback information and we would never want this done typically. So let's do another example. And this time, if there's an error, let's handle it elegantly. And notice we're going to be able to do all the same tricks that we have been doing. And we even introduce a new trick here. So notice we create our network error subclass once again from the exception class. And then we go in a try block and we raise that error. And then for our except block, we say exception as E, and we are going to print the name of the error. Look at that trick. So we're going to go and print this built-in underscore underscore name underscore underscore variable value, and then we're going to print the message that goes with our network error. So when we run this code, look at that, elegant, we get network error, connection timed out. And that looks like a very elegant way to deal with a very specific error. Now, I'm compelled to give you even a better example. Yeah, let's build some logic into this so you can see what I was describing before, where just the name of the error can be so descriptive for your application. So here we're creating an insufficient funds error. Yeah, we're creating this new subclass of an exception called insufficient funds error. And then notice we have some documentation. Remember that? Those 3 quotes like that, and then our string that will be picked up and used in documentation, and it says raised when a withdrawal exceeds the balance. By the way, this example is very depressing for me because I see this a lot with my checking account balance. All right, so we're then going to use the pass command. So insufficient funds error, and then we create that and just pass it. And we are now going to define a function called withdraw. The function works with a balance and an amount variable. So if the amount is greater than the balance, we're going to raise the insufficient funds error with a message that says not enough funds, and we're going to return the balance minus the amount. So let's go ahead and call this thing and see an example of an exception. We're going to try new balance equals withdraw, and oops, we're going to create the whoopsie 100, 500, and we'll catch the insufficient funds error and print declined and the messaging. So someone's using our banking application, and sure enough, they go to take out more than exists in the account. They're going to get this graceful declined, not enough funds error message. And if they were to see this in the code, just looking at it, insufficient funds error really tells the story, doesn't it? Just the name of that custom error message is all we need to see to know what happened. Gotta love it. So key takeaways, well, yeah, the subclass that we're going to create from is the exception. You never want to do that base exception class, right? That the exception is a subclass of. Yeah, base exception includes some things like escaping from the keyboard and stuff that we don't want to mess with. Name it clearly, and Python does not force us to do this, but it's a really good idea. It's a convention that Python does with their built-in subclasses, and that is end with the 5 characters of error. Or if you live in the Boston area, Boston, Massachusetts, error. Yep. Just end with error. You can see why I got rid of that accent. Okay, a body of just pass is enough to start, as you saw. So we're just initially, in a simple example, you can just create your subclass. That's it, and just put pass in the body to get through that. And as you saw, we can raise it with custom messaging. And of course, our code can be built to catch it with our try except blocks and all that great stuff. We can work with these just like we would work with all of those wonderful built-in exceptions that we have been working with. So I hope you are thrilled with this capability that's now at your fingertips to create your own error subclasses. Remember, name them real precisely, name them well, and then utilize them in your code just like you would the others. I also want to thank you, our students. You might have noticed a few improvements in this particular edition of our training videos, and this was incorporating feedback that you all requested of me. So thank you so much. Keep the feedback coming, keep the comments coming, and thanks for not making fun of me with this sleeve on. I'm addicted to tennis and pickleball. Enough said. All right, see you all in the next video.